Yo, what's up YouTube? In this video, I will be showing y'all how to do a high taper and still keeping the darkness around the ridge area so the curls can fall over and you're not giving them such like an undercut. And if you new to cutting hair and you are a beginner, this texture can be very hard to cut. So I start by just combing everything out. And you can see how my client's hair is already like messy looking. I'm not really worried about that. My only focus is combing out the areas that I want to cut. So you see me just combing down all the way. So now I'm going to pick up my foreguard and we're going to start on the back taper. Now, right when I get to that dark area, I'm going to scoop right out. This is going to control that darkness that I want to stay. So at the end of this haircut, I'm going to wet his hair and I'm going to style it, and all the curls is basically just going to lay down and everything is going to flow together. So right underneath that 4 open, I did the 4 close. Now I'm going to set in my first bald guideline with my tomb trimmers, and you see me setting the guideline in upside down so I will not create a harsh guideline for myself. Then we're going to come in with the Tomb 45 clippers and we're going to go in with the no guard open, going up about a ½ inch because I'm working in a smaller area, so I do not want to make this guideline too much stretch. Now to take out this line, bro, it's the same exact steps. We start closed and we tap at the line. Once that line shift up, we will open up our lever 1 notch. Once that line shifts, you should be halfway in the lever and your line should be completely faded out. Now for video purposes, I just faded out one side at a time just so I can show you guys a better view, so it just won't be all over the place. Then we're going to pick up the 0.5 guard and we're going to start open, and we're going up about a ½ inch as well. And right when I get to the top, you see me scooping right out because I do not want to create a harsh guideline. And we're going to go over it multiple times just to really get it down to its desired length. Now to soften up this line, we're going to start halfway in the lever, and we still had the 0.5 on. And this means I just want to be halfway in that guideline. Once that lighten up, you see me close the lever up 1 notch. And now I'm going to go a little bit lower than I was halfway. Now I just went all the way close. I should be at the very bottom of that guideline. And we're using a C-shaped motion to soften up that line. Now we're just going to repeat the same exact steps. We start halfway. We should be halfway in that guideline. You see me just close the lever up 1 notch. Now I should be a little bit lower. Now I am all the way closed. So I need to be at the very bottom of the guideline. Now that 0.5 is not going to take that guideline out. So you have to take off the guard and you got to go clipper open. Just use the corner of the blade and just take out that remaining line that you see. If you have to go a little bit more up in the fade, just slant the clipper a little bit and do some point cutting just to knock out them dark spots as you see me doing. Now we throw back on the 1.5 guard. Now I'm about to fade this 1.5 right into that number 4. So you see me going in and I am scooping right out. And I am open with this 1.5. And you can see my net transition is forming. Right underneath that 1.5 now we just close the lever all the way. And now we want to just tap at the bottom of that guideline. And you can see how my transition is starting to come together. And we also keeping that bulk right there. So when we style his hair, the curls is gonna lay right on that. Then we're gonna throw back on the 0.5 guard. And we're just going to stay open, and this is the part where you're going to be doing a lot of lever play. Depending on where you are in the fade, you're going to go open, you're going to go close, just to take out that remaining line that you see. And for the most part, I like to start all the way close with it and just use the corners and just hit that line, man. As long as you just using the last 3 teeth of that blade, bro, you will be fine. But remember, if you have to go up in the fade, open up the lever. Do not dig in there with the clipper all the way closed. And you can see my transition is coming together. I'm not really worried about the bulk. I'm just worried about the actual taper itself. Now we're going to work on the side taper. I'm setting this guideline. I'm giving it a slight curve just to add a little bit more pop in it. And I'm just going to debulk out the rest of the hair that's below that line. And we're going to bar him completely out. He can take the shaver on the sides, but he cannot take it on his neck because he will bump up. And right when I get to that line, I'm just scooping right out. Now you see me just combing down all that weight. We don't want to remove it, but we want to soften it up. So I threw on the foreguard open and I'm going up and I am scooping right out. We don't want to remove this because it will look like an undercut. That's why I have this foreguard on, and this is where we are going to stop fading. We are not going to take that fade any higher than this 4. Right underneath the 4 open, you're going to do the foreguard close. And that's a good foundation for me to start fading now. Now I go no guard open with my Tune 45 clippers, and I'm going up about a 1/2 inch. I'm going to be using majority of my corners when doing this taper because I am working in a smaller area and I do not want to be using the full blade. So a lot of this is going to just be using the corners. And I'm still trying to keep that same U shape that I created. Now to take the line out, same thing. We're going to tap at the line. Once it shifts up, we're going to open up the lever 1 notch. Now we're going to open up the lever again. I am halfway now. That means I should be at the very top of that guideline. If the line do not come out, just go back and repeat them same exact steps. It's dummy proof, man. Now we're going to throw on the 0.5 and we're going to still go in that same circular shape that I created. After every stroke, we are going to brush the hair down. When you are cutting curly texture hair, you have to always make sure that you are brushing because the hair just, when you cut it, it just jumps whatever way that it wants. So just keep that in mind when you cutting curly texture hair. Just always, after every stroke, just brush. Now to start to soften up this line, we're going to go halfway in the lever, which means we should be halfway in that guideline. Once it lighten up for you, you're going to close your lever up 1 notch and you're going to start working your way down. And you see me still using the corners of the blade. Now we're going to close the lever up all the way, and now we should be at the very bottom of the guideline. I'm staying consistent with every stroke. Now to take out that line, we took the guard off. Now we're going lever open, just using the corners. And now I am removing the rest of that line that I got left over from that 0.5 guard. Just using them corners. If the line is not coming out, I would just open up my lever 1 notch just until that line come out. Now let me be very clear here. I am not trying to make this taper super blurry on the first time. I know I'm coming back and detailing and refining the cut once everything is lined up. Now we're going to throw on the 1.5 guard, and I am open, and you see me just using the corners of the blade. Again, I'm just going to keep repeating myself. I am using the corner of the blade because I am working in a smaller area, and we are taking this 1.5 open and we are flicking right into that number 4 guard. Right underneath that 1.5, we're going to close the lever up all the way and we're just going to start to tap at that line. So now I just closed, and now you're going to see me work at the bottom of the guideline. And I already see my transition coming to life. Now we're gonna throw on the 0.5 and we're gonna start open. And now we're gonna knock out that 1.5 guideline with the 0.5. And you can see how I still have that darkness that I am looking for. Trust me, when the hair is styled, all them curls is going to start to shrink and everything is going to flow together. So the only thing I'm worried about is really the actual taper in itself. And on this side, we just go back and repeat the same exact steps. You see, I'm putting the guideline in. I'm put like a little arch to it. And we're just gonna clear out all the weight or the bulk that's at the bottom of the line. Then we're gonna come back with the foil shaver. I'm just using the single side. And once I get to the top of the guideline, I'm scooping right out. Now we're gonna come back with the foreguard. We're just going to lighten up some of that weight. I should not be using a brush. You will see me switch over to a comb just because we dealing with curly texture hair. You can see when I'm brushing it down, it's not moving the way how I want it to move. So that's why you see me switch over to a comb so I can actually comb the hair down. And now the guard is going to feed through the hair a lot easier. Now we're going to go no guard open. We're going to set in that first guideline in that same circular shape that we created. And I'm just making sure the guideline is nice and even. I do not want to put in a sloppy guideline because that's how my fade is going to come out, sloppy. Now to remove this line, you're going to see me tap at the line, lever close. Now you're going to see me open up the lever 1 notch, and I went up a little bit higher. Now I'm going to go halfway in the lever. Now you see me at the top of the guideline. Now I threw on the 0.5 guard, going over this guideline multiple times, still keeping that same exact shape. And for all my new barbers that's watch me, you know, you guys is learning how to cut hair. Find a system and stick with it, man. Like, do not keep switching up your system. And every haircut that you do, stay with that same system. Even if the cut not coming out how you want it to come out, as long as you know where you are in the fade and you know what guard you're supposed to have on, just stick with the same system and you are going to get the same results every single time. That's why I think developing a system is just so important. It don't matter what texture hair I'm cutting. It don't matter if I'm doing a fade, a taper, a burst fade, a low fade. I'm going to do the same system every single time. I treat my system good, so my system is going to treat me good. You hear barbers throw around that word consistently all the time because being consistent is important. You show up to the shop, you are being consistent. You always there for your clients, you are being consistent. So why can't we come up with a system, stick with it, and stay consistent with that system? And then you wonder why you can't achieve these nice haircuts. If you are a new barber, just master one system on how you like to cut hair. Once you get comfortable with that system, then you can take things out other people's system. Oh, this guy do not use the 1 guard in his system. Let me use the 0.5 instead of the 1 guard. I like how this guy take out the ball guideline. Let me try to add that in my system. You get what I'm saying? So once you master a system, then you can start taking other things that you like and then put it in your system, and that will help you get efficient behind the chair. In the beginning, it's not about giving out the blurriest fade or the sharpest lineup. It's about learning, and it's about putting up as many reps as you possibly can. Like, I know I'm not the best barber on YouTube. I know I'm not the best barber in the world, but my clients think I am the best. And that's really all that matters. I genuinely care about helping you guys and educating y'all on how to cut hair. But man, You have to develop a system, man. That's super important, bro. And I hope I'm doing a great job on breaking these videos down and explaining how I'm doing it and why I'm doing it. Let me know in the comments below. Now back to the video. I just circled, my client has a calic right on his front hairline. So I had to be very mindful of that when I start to line him up. So I come back with some alcohol. It's just alcohol and I'm just starting to prep the skin. This is going to clean any dirt or oils off the skin. And anywhere that my trimmers are going to touch, this is where I want to wipe down with the alcohol. So then I come back with some holding spray and I'm just going to mist everywhere where I just wipe with the alcohol. Then I'm going to come back with the brush and I'm going to brush everything down. And the holding spray, it just frees everything in place. So when your trimmers hit it, it's going to hit like a razor. And we're going to brush down behind the ear, the neckline. Anywhere that you sprayed the holding spray, that's where you are going to brush. Now we're going to come back with 245 trimmer and we're just going to hit the neckline. And you can see how the trimmers is just hitting. It's like you put a razor to it. But we keeping everything nice and natural. We taking our time. We do not want to push anything back. Then we're going to come and hit the vertical bar as well. Now we're going to hit the other side. We're going to come hit the neckline. Notice how I'm not digging into any hairs. I want to keep everything nice, sharp, but natural at the same time. Look at that back taper, man. That thing blurry. Now we're going to hit the other vertical bar. Now we're going to line up the front. We're going to start dead smack in the middle. That's for our balance. Now remember when I told you he have a calic. Now instead of just lining it up, you want to push into it and then line it up so them hairs would not spike at you. So I push into it and now I can line it up. That's just really ensuring that I do not hit a hair and they start to just stick up at you and you create a bald spot. Now we're going to go to the other side and we're going to line this up straight as we can. I'm just going to keep looking away just to make sure that I am lining everything up nice and even. And I'm really going to hit that corner to really make that edge pop. And I like to come right behind my client, look in the mirror to make sure that everything is nice and straight. And just look how everything is lined up now and look how much the taper popped. We haven't even did any detail work. Now we're going to be using some enhancements. The Tune 45 no drip. Color is black brown. And we're going to be using the Beam Team cordless compressor. And my client have like a sandy texture hair. So this black brown is going to blend in perfectly with his hair. We are not going to overkill with the enhancements. Just light little mist, just to add a little bit more pop. I am not spraying the color directly on the client's skin. I'm kind of hitting the card and letting it mist on to the edge. And just look how good that blends in. Make sure everything is lined up, of course, and just a light little mist. Now we're going to add some Tune 45 shave gel. And we're going to line up the beard. Bro, the taper look stupid from that angle. Jesus. Then I'm going to come back with my Tune 45 straight razor. This is my Pink Panther right here, man. That's what I named my straight razor, that Pink Panther. This is the Turkish razor. And as long as you stretch the skin and you have the razor angle at a 45-degree angle, it's going to glide like butter. After I set in my first line, I like to come in and remove all that excess hair that's on the cheeks. Right after I'm done with that, I like to wipe everything off, and I like to come back and hit that line one more time. Sometimes I hit the line 3 times, but you don't ever want to hit the line once. You always want to come back and hit the line again. You might have to come through and hit it a 3rd time, but we got to make sure that beard line is crispy clean. And you can see, as long as I'm stretching the skin, you had that razor angled at the right angle, it's going to glide like butter every single time. It's not ideal that you want your client to talk, but I have full control over the razor and I'm good. We wiped everything off, and now we just coming back and we hitting that line one more time to really give it that crispy cream. And just to really enhance that curve, you stretch the skin. And that's how you really get that curve look. Now we're going to saturate his hair with some water. And I'm about to add some mousse to it to really make his curls start curling. You know what they say, the girls love the curls. So now I'm adding in some mousse. And this is really going to start bringing out the definition of his curls. So before I start detailing, I like to style his hair just to see how his curls is land on the taper. Now I'm really about to start refining the haircut. And look at that edge up, man. Look at that beard. Now you can see what I was talking about. The curls is curling. We still got some kind of shape. We didn't sacrifice a blend for the shape. We didn't want to take it up too high, and we still wanted it nice and dark. That's clean, bro. That's a Mick Blurry taper. We just coming in with the thinning shears. We don't want to get rid of it. We just want to lighten it up. Make that taper pop. Really make it blurry. And that's what I'm saying. I remember before, I used to sacrifice a blend for the shape. If you sacrificing a blend for the shape, that's how you receive an undercut. It's good to have shape, and it's also good to have a blend as well. When them two come together and they marry each other, you get a fire cut. And the girls, they love the curls, man. Now we coming in with the clipper open, just clean up them dark spots. We're doing a little bit of clipper over comb, really bringing this cut all the way together. And this thing is clean, man. Look at the beard line. That's blurry. It's blurry, bro. It's a Mick Blurry. Now we coming back with the Tune 45 razor, and we're just going to razor the mustache. Make sure everything is nice and sharp. It's them details, man. It's them little details that matter, and that's what really take your work to the next level. And this is how my client came in looking. It was all over the place, man. We had to put the curls back in place, man. We had to refine the curls, and we had to hit them with that Mick Blurry. That Mick Blurry special. And this is what make barbering, man. You can be creative, and you can have your clients come out looking like a totally different person, man. But thanks everyone for watching, man. I hope y'all learned something on this video. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all the reason why I go so hard on these videos, man. I truly enjoy educating. Also, if you like any of the tools or the products that I used in this video, go to tune45.com. Use my discount code MOREFADES to get your 10% off at checkout. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's your boy MOREFADES. I see you on the next video, and I'm out.